Wait a minute. Hi everybody! Welcome up! Welcome up. Hi. Welcome to Jess Plays Exile election. We're finally past the last election, presumably, so we're now getting into the endgame. And I mean, like, I spent 2 years with this game, man. I'm ready to move on to something else. So, yeah. Alright, here we go. Let's go. I couldn't tell if it was because I was sleepy, or perhaps because I was tired. I couldn't even decide. But, without thinking, my body, or rather my consciousness, sunk into a deep darkness. Okay, so we technically have one more left. Like, presumably, because, like, there's 3 of us still, so we need to kind of, like, get rid of whatever's going on there. So, and we're only allowed to have 2, so I need to do the quiz game thing and win it for all 3 of us to be able to leave. I'm still somewhat, like, anxious that Ichika's gonna just, like, up and betray me and be like, "Ha, asshole, fucking debate me in a, election. I'm actually still pissed that you killed my abusive dad." So, like, I don't know. We'll see. Today's gonna be a lot of story time, I think, because I still have quite a few people that I need to finish. But, yeah, we'll go take care of some story time stuff today. Do whatever gameplay is left over, aside from that. And go from there, I guess. Okay. Morning. The moment I opened my eyes, lying on top of the sofa, I had the feeling that today would be a special day, somewhere in the back of my mind. However, I didn't feel any sort of excitement. And It was as if there was absolutely nothing cutting off the revenge I had desired so much before from what else was to come. Perhaps the reason that it still didn't feel as if it were over was because I still had a small thread of worry wound around my heart. I just wanted to keep sleeping. I mean, I had enough time that I could spend an entire day resting up if I wanted. Staring up at the ceiling from my bed, Misa's face floated into my mind. My revenge hadn't actually been for Misa's sake. It had been for me, the one who was left behind. So far, I had been operating entirely out of my feelings of anger at the rest of them. But now that wasn't all I had. I also had Ichika and Nori. And I had to settle things with Alice. There were still things I had to do.
Yes.
Okay. Once I finished my shower and got dressed, I had already... Okay. Once I got showered and got dressed, I felt as though I was a new man. There was no need to remember all of those other 9. What I really needed to focus on was what was to come. Ichika should already be waiting in Nori's room. Wonder what we should have for breakfast. And after we eat, I wonder what we should do today. Thinking about both Ichika and Nori brought on a feeling of natural. A sense of it being natural. Hang on. Brought on a sense of natural. I'm gonna have to add a word here because it doesn't work in English otherwise. Thinking about the two of them made me started to feel more natural, and a feeling of comfort bloomed in my heart. We had already ridden all of the rides in the theme park, so it didn't seem like we'd find anything new. That said, being able to spend a whole day without thinking about who I would kill next, and just being able to spend the time purely enjoying it, that was something that was what was waiting for us from now on. Well, at least 2 days of it.
おはよう、かなめくん。
Morning, Kaname-kun.
何の用だアリス。
What do you want, Alice? I felt as though she was intentionally here to break up my good mood.
何のようだはひどいな。次の選挙について決めておかなくちゃいけないことがあるから会いに来てあげたっていうのに。
Hey, what's with that? What do you want? Jeez, that's harsh. Aw, man. I'm here to ask you who you've decided on for the next election. Figured I'd meet you here.
決めておかなくちゃいけないこと。まさかまたルールでも追加するつもりか。
Do I have to decide? Oh my god, are you gonna add another rule again?
そんなことはしないよ。ただ君は立候補しなくちゃいけないルールだし、対立候補も決めないとね。
But that's not what it is. It's just that if you're going to be the nominee, then you have to pick the opposing candidate.
なんだそんなことか。まだ2日ある。俺が呼ぶまで出てくるな。
Oh, so that's what you're on about. Listen, we still have 2 days. Don't show up unless I call for you, okay?
決めないとどうなるか分かってるんだよね。
You know what'll happen if you don't decide, right?
俺が何をしようとしてるか当然見当はついてるんだろう。どれだけ今の質問が無意味かも。
Listen, if I'm gonna do something, you can assume that I've definitely thought about what's going to happen. And besides, so, that means that there's no point to you asking me that question.
まだ2日あるからね。心変わりはいつでも受け付けるよ。
It's probably because you have still 2 days left ahead, huh? Well, if you change your mind, I'll be here to listen.
それはありえない。あのくだらない選挙にはもう二度と付き合うつもりはない。
Oh, stop setting us up for this, Kaname. There's no way I'll have to use you. It's not like I'm ever gonna do one of these ridiculous elections again.
でもさ、クイズに不正解だったら君この世界から消えちゃうんだよ。それでもいいの？
But if you can't answer the quiz correctly, you'll be erased from this world. Are you okay with that?
間違わなければいい。
As long as I don't make a mistake, sure.
絶対に間違わない保証なんてないのに。
Even though there's absolutely no proof that you won't make a mistake?
そうだとしてもこれ以上選挙を続けるつもりはない。
Despite that, I have no intention of having the elections continue.
じゃあさ、賭けをしようか。
Alright, then why don't we make a little bet?
俺が次の選挙をするかどうかか。
On whether or not I'm going to have to participate in another election?
そういうこと。しないって言い切るんなら、賭けられるよね。
Exactly! I mean, if you're this insistent that you won't do it again, then you should be able to wager on it, right?
何をかける？
And what exactly are the terms of this bet?
君が欲しいものは？
What's something you want?
お前の命
Your life.
と言ったらどうする？
And if I said that, what would happen?
僕を殺したいってこと？
So you want to kill me, in other words.
ああ、そうだ。
Exactly.
そんなことしたら君たちまで死んじゃうよ。
Well, if you do that, you guys are all gonna die too.
じゃあこういうのはどうだ？俺たちの命の安全を守った上で死んでもらう。
Alright, well then how about this? How about you find a way to make sure that we stay safe, and then you die?
簡単に言うけどそれは無理だよ。僕がいなくちゃ君たちはここでは生きていけないんだから。
I mean, that's easy to say, but there's no way I can actually do that. If I'm not here, I mean, none of you can live. I'm wondering if this is gonna have a twist where it's like all of this is happening in like Misa's head or something like that, and like Misa's like comatose or something, and she's the one who's kind of like weaving this narrative, as it were. So she's technically Alice, and then she's also the one who's sort of like, you know, responsible for all of this.
そうだな。ならお前に合わせろ。
Fine. Then I guess I'll try and match up with what you can do.
合ってるじゃないか。今もこうして。
What? Come on. Aren't we already in sync right now?
お前の本体にだ。そんな偽物じゃなく。
Oh, I see what he's saying. Okay. There's a bunch of different ways that you could have interpreted that. Then I want to meet you. Aren't we talking right now? No, I mean I want to meet the real you. Not this fake. The thing that I was looking at right now was nothing more than a hologram. I wanted to meet the person who was behind it, controlling it. The true person. I hadn't forgotten about all of the crimes that I had committed so far, but even despite that, I felt even more uneasy about this. I felt as though right now everything was going according to Alice's plan. Even if there were multiple people that were controlling Alice. Even if there were multiple people controlling Alice, then they were all working toward the same goal, meaning somebody somewhere had to be pulling the strings.
会った途端に殺そうとか思ってない？
So you don't think you're gonna kill me the minute you meet me?
それも魅力的だが現実的じゃないな。今は殺そうとは考えてない。
It certainly will be tempting, but obviously I can't go through with it. I mean, right now I'm not thinking about killing you at all. Well, at least not yet. I can't kill them until I know who Alice really is. And I had no other way of finding that out.
今はね。
For now, huh?
条件は言った。あとはお前がどうするかだ。
Alright, I've given you my terms. What are you gonna do?
でもそれはダメだな。
Sorry, that's no good though.
なぜだ？
Why?
きっと君がそれじゃ納得しないだろうから。
Cause I don't think you're gonna be satisfied with it.
どういう意味だ？
What the hell does that mean?
それを説明するのは難しいし、答えになっちゃうかもしれないから秘密。
Well, you see, it's kind of tough to explain, and so if I try to answer, it's going to become a little bit too obvious, and therefore I'm going to keep it a secret.
別の条件はないの？
There's nothing else that you would want to set as your terms?
そっちの条件はどうなんだ？
Fine, what are your terms then?
だな。君に自信があるのなら条件は先にそっちが決めてよ。僕はそれに見合うだけのものを出すから。
I wonder. I mean, you're the one who has all of the self-confidence when it comes to this, so I figured I'd let you decide what you wanted first. And then I would go ahead and just kind of fall in line with you.
どうしたの？自信があるんでしょ？
It's so funny because that's such an infuriating answer. Choose where you want to eat, Alice. Alice is like, I'm hungry. And you're like, where do you want to eat? I don't know. You choose. And then you give her like a bunch of like list of places. And she's like, I don't want that. It's just what triggered in my mind. What's the matter? Don't you have confidence?
それなら俺の問いに全て真実で答えること。
Fine. If you're gonna make me choose, then this is what I want. I want you to answer every one of my questions with the truth.
曖昧すぎるよ。うまい言い方だとは思うけど、これからずっとってことでしょ？それは無理だね。
Aw, come on. That's super vague. I mean, I love the way you phrased it, but if you put it that way, then it means I have to answer you truthfully forever. I can't do that, sorry.
どうして？
Why?
君が死ぬまで賭けの契約が続くって考えると、割に合うものを君が僕に提供できるとも思えないね。
Well, because I don't think you're going to be able to offer me anything that'll be equal to me entering that sort of agreement with you for the rest of your life.
ならずっとじゃなかった。
Okay. And what if I put a time limit on it?
何？どういうこと？
What? What do you mean?
質問の数を制限したらどうだ？
Alright, what if I only ask you a particular number of questions? How about that?
面白いね。数はいくつ？100個とか1000個とかいうのはなしだよ。
Interesting. And how many would you want? Remember, you can't go like hundreds or thousands.
12。
12.
いいね。残された君たち全員の数字っていうのが気に入ったよ。12個の質問に必ず真実で答える。それでいい？
Ooh, I like that. Ah, I like it a lot. The same number as the number of survivors of humanity, huh? Alright, well then let's go with that. You ask me 12 questions, and I'll answer every single one of them truthfully. Is that okay? We got a deal?
ああ、いいだろう。で、そっちは？
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Okay, what's your terms?
あ、ちょっと待って。選挙をしないっていうのはどのタイミングで決まるのかな？僕が質問に答えた後でやっぱりやりますって言うんじゃ賭けにならないよね。
Hey, hang on a minute. When we're talking about whether or not you do the election, what kind of timing should we set on that? I mean, after I answer all of your questions, if you then decide to just go ahead and do the election anyway, that's gonna completely ruin the bet.
今それを言うのか？お前が言い出したことだろ。
Wait, you're only coming up with that now? You're the one who suggested this.
こういうのはきっちり決めておかないとね。それじゃあこうしようか。次に君が選挙を行うと発言したら、君は僕の言うことを何でも聞く。これでどう？
Well, I mean, come on, we need to make sure that we're clear about where we fall on this. Alright, how about this? Okay, how about the next time I say that it's time for an election, you can go ahead and ask me whatever you want. How about that?
割に合わないな。
Well, that sort of doesn't really match up, but alright.
そう？死んでもらうとかじゃないだけいいんじゃない？
What? You really don't think so? Well, I mean, you're not gonna die from it, so it's fine, right?
まず立候補する と発言するだけで賭けに負けるのはなしだ。
Therefore, that means if I decide to become the nominee, and I choose, or I decide to become the nominee, I don't lose the bet, correct?
どうして？
Why are you asking that?
そういう嘘をつく可能性もある。
Well, because there's a chance that somebody might lie about it. I didn't have the intention to do that right now, but there was a chance that I would probably have to lie about it to Ichika. Maybe not lie, but there wasn't a 0 chance that I wouldn't have to really become the nominee again. I certainly didn't want that to happen, but I could think of a lot of situations where it might actually come to pass.
まあいっか。じゃあどうする？どうやったら君の負けになるの？
Alright, that's fine, I guess. Alright, so what do we do? How would you actually lose this bet? Okay. As long as it's possible, I want to extend this as long as I possibly can. I couldn't really think of anything, so I can't really think of anything, so I'm wondering if maybe it should just be right before the next election? Would she actually let me place it there?
君が立候補した時？
Is it when you decide to become the nominee? Or is it when you become the nominee?
いや、もう少し先だな。
Nah, I want it to be a little bit further than that.
どうして？もうやらないんでしょ？
What? Why? I thought you weren't gonna do it anymore.
それならいつだって同じだろう。例えばベッドの中に入った後でも。
Well, if that's the case, then it doesn't matter when we decide it. For example, even after we get into the little beds.
何か考えでもあるの？
What, you got something on your mind?
さあ、どうだろうな。
Perhaps.
一応言っておくけど、一度立候補したら取り消せないよ。
I should probably go ahead and say this, but the minute you become the nominee, I mean, you can't get out of this bed anymore.
分かってる。
I know.
じゃあ別にいいけど。
Alright, well then that's fine.
確認する。俺が賭けに負けたと判断されるのは立候補した時でもなく、対立候補を選んだ時でもなく、ベッドの中に入った後だ。いいな。
Alright, let me just be clear here. So, the terms under which I would lose this bet would not be when I become the nominee, or when I choose my opposing candidate. It's after I already get into the bed. Is that correct?
それほど違いがあるとも思えないけど。
I don't really think there's that much of a difference between all of them, but sure. I understood that Alice was pointing out to me with that obvious lie that there was a big difference between all of them. Alright, well, this is the last thing I need to do. These last 2 days... Okay. These last 2 days I had to prepare everything I possibly could to make sure I could ensure against the unusual happenings.
それで賭けに勝ったらお前は何を望む？
Alright, and if you win, what exactly do you want?
僕の言うことを聞いてもらおうか。
I want you to listen to what I have to say.
何回言うことを聞けばいい。当然永続的に続くような命令はなしだ。これからずっとお願いを聞いてもらうとかな。
And how many times are we talking about? Obviously, we can't make an agreement that's going to extend into eternity. So, and I mean, that seems to be what you're asking right now. For me to listen to you forever.
ああ、よくある願いを増やしてくれってやつだね。そんな無茶なことは言わないよ。
Hey, come on. That's only because you're the kind of person who would make that kind of request. I'm not that type.
そうだね。僕も12回でいいよ。君の質問と同じ数だね。
Alright then. Then why don't we say 12 times? It'll be the same as the number of questions you get to ask me. Even if Alice had wanted me to listen to 100 times or 1,000 times, it wouldn't have mattered. The moment I lose this bet, I already would have resigned myself to death.
いいだろう。12回だな。
Alright, yeah, 12 times. Let's go with it.
何をしてもらおうかな。
What should I make you do, huh? Well, I suppose there is a small chance that I might have to go into one last election. And that's if I can't answer the quiz correctly. Okay. If I die from trying to answer the quiz, then there's no issue. And if that's the case, then I've more or less ensured that Ichika and Nori will survive. I don't remember Alice ever saying that the survivors had to be one man and one woman, so... The problem would be if I lose the right to answer the quiz. Or if something happens that invalidates the quiz. I can't say it's completely impossible. Alright. Well, at the very least, I just need to make sure that I get every single one of the cards. I think I should be able to collect all of them as of today. That is, if I haven't already gotten most of them already. Okay, well then this becomes my last resort. In the worst case scenario, I'm not able to answer the quiz. And I'm unable to become the nominee. And it just automatically assigns both the nominee and the opposing candidate roles to Ichika and Nori. The only way I can prevent that is by becoming the nominee myself. And saying that I will have Ichika as my opposing candidate. You might want to go explain this to Ichika first before you go through with this plan, bro. Because, I mean, you've been kind of leaving her in the dark for a lot of this stuff, and you've been coasting on just the fact that, like, A, she's in love with you, and B, she's got trust issues with, like, everyone else, literally. So, like, maybe before you say anything to Alice, you should, like, trot over to fucking Nori's room and say, "Hey, Ichika, BT dubs, just in case I'm gonna become the fucking nominee again, and I'm gonna put your name in because, you know, you have consciousness as opposed to Nori, so please don't freak out. You're in on this. I have no intention of doing it. Let's work really hard so I can answer the quiz correctly." I don't think she would have a problem with it this way, but the way that this is getting set up right now, it makes it sound like he's gonna do it right now, and then it's gonna get announced, and Ichika's gonna be like, "What the fuck?" I mean, she might not, but, like, I just, you know, whatever. Then I can lose the election. No matter what happens, I would have to make sure that I did not win that election. I don't think he fucking beat Ichika anyway. Since Ichika's memories had been messed with from the very beginning, she probably would suspect that I would be the nominee, but would have no way of knowing for sure. If she was able to realize it, though, okay, alright. Even if Ichika had the same exact thought I did, or even if she did happen to realize it and she thought the same thing I did, I still had much more of a leg up on her with regards to the elections in general. Well, I mean, this was only because that it was somewhat possible that I might have to be in one more election. And it would mean that it would mean that the timing at which Alice would be able to give me orders would be only during the election. I was sure that Alice probably would have realized that after I said that it wasn't after I became the nominee or after I picked an opposing candidate, but after I was already in the bed. That would mean that the only time Alice could give me the 12 orders would be during the election itself. I probably shouldn't... I don't imagine that she would order me to lose the election. In fact, instead... Okay. And instead, it wasn't as though she could necessarily argue for me to win, either. The minute she said something, I would have to honor it. If I were the one taking the penalty, there'd be no issue. But it wouldn't be me. It would be visited on... The punishment would be visited onto the opposing candidate. And Alice had made that perfectly clear. There was no chance that I could understand, or there was no chance that she would break the rules that she herself had set in order to make things fair. I really couldn't imagine that she would interfere with the outcome of people's lives.
残っているのは俺が賭けに勝つ条件だな。いつ俺の質問に答えてもらえる。
Alright, the only thing left over is if I win the bet. So, if I do, when exactly would I get to ask you these questions?
クイズに正解したらってところかな。その時点で君たち3人が生き残ることは決定するから。でいいんだよね。クイズの景品はまだ決まってなかったけど。
How about it's when you answer the quiz correctly? At that point, you've pretty much ensured that all three of you get to survive, so it's fine, right? I mean, I haven't exactly decided on what the quiz, exactly on what the rewards for the quiz are going to be yet.
ああクイズに正解できたら必ず3人で生き残ることを選ぶつもりだからな
Alright. Yeah, exactly. If I'm able to answer the quiz correctly, that means that all three of us definitely get to survive, so that's what I'm going to choose.
じゃあそういうことで
Alright, well then let's go with it.
決まりだ
It's decided.
オッケー
Okay.
それならもう消えてくれ最後の2日をイチカとノーリと一緒に過ごすんだ
Alright, if that's the case, then get the hell out of here. I want to spend these next 2 days. I want to spend these last 2 days with Ichika and Nori.
最後の2日ねえ意外と弱気なの
Oh, your last 2 days, huh? Are you actually a little bit more worried than you look?
ルールに縛られる最後の2日だってだけだ分かったらさっさと消えろ俺が呼ぶまで二度と姿を現すな
I only mean it's the last 2 days where I'm bound by these stupid rules. Alright, if you get that, hurry up and get out of here. Don't show your face again unless I ask for you.
いやいやちょっとひどくない俺が呼ぶまでって呼んだら来いってことでしょ
Whoa, 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 that's a little harsh, don't you think? I mean, Couldn't you phrase it more as like, until I call for you, you can, or when I call for you, make sure you come, or something like that?
何か問題でもあるのか
What, do you have some sort of problem with it?
んそう言われればないね今までもそうだったし
Well, now that you mention it, I guess I don't. I mean, you've always been like this.
じゃあ言われた通りにしろ
Alright, well then, fucking do as I say.
でも今まで通りってことは呼ばれなくても来るってことだよ
Although, if we're doing things as they've been up until now, I mean, there's sometimes that I show up without you calling.
どうしてそうなる
Yeah, and why is that?
君が僕にそう命令するのはいいよそれを僕が守るかどうかは僕次第ってだけで
Hey, listen, you can give me all the commands you want. Although it's up to me whether I follow them or not.
そういうわけで今のところは消えておくよ次の対立候補が決まったら僕を呼んでね
Alright, well, if that's the case, then I'm gonna go ahead and get going. Once you decide who you want to be your opposing candidate, let me know.
その件で呼ぶことはない
I'm not gonna call you for that.
ま、用があったらいつでも呼んでねってことじゃあね
Alright, well, if you need something, you can call me anytime. Later! And with that, Alice disappeared. Well, it's not like I want to ever call her. The very beginning of all of this, Alice had said that out of the 12 of us, she wanted to exile 10 and save the remaining 2. Even though we should have been whittling our numbers down to 2, if I'm able to answer the quiz correctly, then the 3 of us will be able to survive. And I wonder, and I've been wondering since the very start of this, if that tilts things out of her favor. But if that happens... But if things go tits up, then I guess it doesn't matter whether or not the quiz happens. Why, especially now, would Alice want me to take the quiz? Is it because it benefits her? Well, I mean, obviously it does to some effect, but that's not all. I'm getting a weird feeling of premonition. Alright, let's stop thinking. Since this bet is going to be resolved when I answer the quiz, I don't actually lose anything. I don't actually lose anything, and it's completely to my advantage. I should just do what I want to do. Since that's already decided. Okay. Since that's already decided, if she's trying to get in my way, then I can handle it. I'm gonna forget about all of this the minute I get into Naughty's room. And then for the next 2 days... Okay, for the next 2 days, I'm going to just worry about the things that I've already decided to do.
Ohayo.
Morning! Having shaken off my feelings of anger and frustration, I called out into the room.
Ah, Kaname, ohayo.
Oh, Kaname, morning! I wondered what would happen 2 days from now. What would happen to the three of us left? Not knowing made me want to cling to the normal everydayness of hanging out with Ichika and Nori even more. So, what are we gonna do today? Ichika asked me after we had breakfast.
最後のカードを集めることかな。
Guess I'll pick up those last few cards, huh?
そうだね。ノリちゃんは何に乗りたい？
Oh, yeah, we could do that. Nori-chan, what do you want to ride? Okay. Every election, all of us receive 4 cards. If I'm going to answer the cards, I need to know the answer to the quiz is who among us is the number of killers among the 12 of us. On top of that, each person has 3 pieces of information. And you don't know whether or not they committed a murder until the very end. I've used all of each's cards, for example, and even though I did, it was still pretty tough to tell in the end. If I've been using all of the cards until now, it seems that I've already ensured that I have most of the pieces. But for this final person, I can't just rely on my own instinct.
Kaname, もう用意はできた?
Kaname, you ready to go?
あ、いつでも大丈夫。それじゃあ行こうか。
Yeah, sorry. I can go whenever. Let's go. Yeah! Oh, I'm going to the Kannansha.
やっぱりここが一番好きみたいだね。
It seems like this certainly is your favorite spot, huh? We decided on coming here first. Nori also had her eyes on it from the very first time we set out. Nori, dragging both Ichika and I by the hands toward it, clambered into the gondola.
で、結局ずっと外を見てるんだよね。
Seems like she just keeps staring out the window the entire time, huh?
高いところが好きなのかな。
Oh, I wonder if she likes heights. Every time we got into this gondola, I felt like there were so many things I wanted to talk about. The next person I wanted to kill in the elections. Which group I was gonna go after next. About what kind of people were left over or that I would have to go after this. That was like the only thing we talked about. Right now, I just was there without thinking anything about that. Just enjoying a ride in the gondola and its gentle swaying. And having fun, having a light, non-dire conversation.
気持ちはわからなくもないけどね。
Yeah, well, I mean, it's tough to tell how she feels, but...
そうだね。ああ、でも。
Yeah, that's true. But, the moment the words were out of her mouth, the moment those words were out of her mouth, our line of sight shifted to focus on the monsters. Until now, we'd more or less pretty much just ignored them. Once or twice they'd become the topic of conversation, I suppose, but even until now it was kind of strange, as if we hadn't really spared them a thought. Since we didn't have any weapons or anything, I wasn't ever able to come up with a plan for taking the one down. I didn't feel as though I was running away from this problem by focusing on my revenge. It's just that I kept just ignoring all of these free-flying monsters in the edge of my vision.
ノーリちゃんは怖くないのかな。さっきからずっと目で追ってるけど。
I wonder if Nori-chan's afraid of them. I mean, she's been kind of watching them this whole time. As Ichika said, I could see that Nori was staring at something intently, and when I followed the line of her sight, I could see that it was a monster which had flown by. I mean, I usually ignore them when I was having serious conversations with Ichika, but had they always been quite this spry?
どうなんだろう。記憶喪失になんてなったことないから想像しかできないけど、クマとかライオンとか危険な動物を見てもそれが危険だとは思えないんじゃないかな。
I wonder. I mean, I can't really say anything because I've never had amnesia, but maybe it's like looking at like a bear or a lion or some other kind of big dangerous animal. I mean, just looking at them doesn't make you feel afraid.
でも、クマもライオンも普通の動物なんだし、あそこまでおかしな外見はしてないでしょ?
Yeah, but I mean, like bears and lions are like normal animals. They don't look all that weird.
俺たちは他の動物もたくさん知ってるから比較もできるけど、脳裏は人間とあの化け物しか知れないんだし、おかしいとは思えないと思う。
Well, yeah, I mean, for us, we have tons of other animals to compare them to. But for Nori, the only thing she knows is people and those weird monsters. So I don't think she finds them all that strange.
確かに。
Oh, yeah, good point.
それに脳裏はあの場面も見ていないしね。
Besides, I don't think she's actually looking. I don't think, blah, 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 blah. I don't think that that's actually how Nori thinks. Oh, okay. Nori never saw that, did she? Of course, I was talking about the slaughter in the square that first time. The image of all of the monsters eating humans.
あれからもう1ヶ月近く経ったんだよね。
Can't believe it's been almost a month since that happened.
そうだね。思い返したらあっという間だったような気もするけど。
Yeah, looking back on it, it feels like it was just a minute.
これからどうなるのかな。
I wonder what's gonna happen next.
まずはクイズに答えて3人で生き残れるようにする。
Well, first I'm gonna answer the quiz and ensure that all three of us survive.
その後はアリスの言っている救うってどういうこと？
Yeah, and after that? Like, what does Alice mean when she says she's gonna save us?
その時になればわかるよ。ただしその時まであいつは絶対に話さないだろうね。
Well, I guess we'll find out when the time comes. So, until that time comes, make sure you do not speak to her.
まずは生き残ること。うん、そうだよね。
So first is survival, huh? Alright, I got it.
そう。
Yes.
賞賛はあるよね。
We're looking pretty good to win, right?
あるよ。絶対に正解できる。
Of course. I can definitely answer this correctly.
よかった。
Well, that's good to hear. Ichika doesn't know that there are actually 33 cards. Because there's only 11 people who have any memories to look at. The last person, there's no way to understand what they're... or for the last person, there's no way to know what their answer would be. I'm glad in the end I was able to get all the cards. Of course, hearing Alice explain everything in the storage room, Ichika must have also realized it.
さあ、そろそろ下に着くよ。次は何に乗る？
Alright, well, we're about to make it down. What do we want to ride next? Seems like all of these places didn't have any of the cards. Going to all the places that we had been to before, we moved through all of the attractions. And the last one seems to be the maze. We didn't have any of the cards. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I should have just. Maybe I shouldn't have just ignored that really, energetic and warm congratulations from Alice last time.
最後は迷路か。
The last one's the maze, huh? I had a little bit of a bad feeling about this.
それなら俺一人で行ってくるよ。 どうせカードはあと1枚で揃うから。
Alright, how about I just go by myself? I mean, there's only one more card I need to get anyway. That was the truth, at least.
そうなの？
Oh, really?
そろそろお腹も空いてきたし、2人は先に戻ってて。
Yeah. I mean, you must be getting hungry soon, so why don't the two of you head back sooner?
アリスの迷路か。
Alice's maze, huh?
それに今日はイチカの作ったご飯が食べたいしね。
Besides, I want to eat food that you've cooked today, Ichika.
そうなんだ。じゃあそうしようかな。
Oh? Oh, okay. Alright, well, we can do that.
リクエストはそういう言い方をするってことはあるんでしょ？
So, have you got any requests? I mean, that's how you can ask for that kind of thing, right?
もちろんあるよ。
Yeah, of course I do. I mean, I only really had one sort of vaguely in my head. But, I mean, of course I had been thinking about my final meal over and over.
本当に？
Really? Apparently, Ichika was expecting me to say that I would just eat whatever. And so she was a little bit surprised.
リクエストは
My request is... What was it? Was it like Baked Alaska or what? Like... do something really suave. He's just like... He's like, dat pussy. Alright. I walked over to the maze myself, but as I thought, Alice wasn't there. Well, if she wasn't going to come out, I guess I would have to call her myself.
アリス、出てこい。
Alice, get over here.
はいはい。どうしたの？
Hey, what's wrong?
ラッキープレイスはどうした？
Alright, what about the lucky place?
残念だけどここじゃないね。
Oh, sorry, it's not here.
利用可能なアトラクションは全部回った。ここで最後だ。
We've already been around to all of the other attractions where you can possibly be. This is the last place.
そう？じゃあ他の場所なんじゃない？
Really? There's nowhere else you could have checked?
そういう嫌がらせをするとは思わなかったな。
I never thought that you would make me hate you even more.
せっかくだからさ、最後の選挙までやっちゃえば？ここまで来たら同じでしょ？
Well, I mean, if you're dedicated to this, then why don't you just go ahead and do the final election? I mean, you've come this far already.
今までとは違う。それに俺はイチカとノーリを生き残らせるためにクイズに答えるんだ。選挙だけはありえない。
This is different from before. And besides, I'm doing this so that Ichika and Nori can survive. The only way I can do that, I need to answer the quiz. I can't do it with only the... Okay, I can't do that with only the election.
でもさ、ここが君にとってラッキープレイスじゃなかったってだけで探してみたら見つかるかもしれないよ。
Yeah, but here's the thing. All I said was that this isn't the lucky place. And I mean, if you look, you could probably find it, right?
必ずあるんだな。
There definitely is one, right?
あるよ。ただ乗り物が壊れちゃってるかもしれないけど。
Oh yeah, it's there, but I mean the the ride itself is probably broken.
もし乗ることができなかったら
And if I can't ride it?
そりゃカードはあげられないね。最初にそう言ったはずだよ。きちんと施設を利用したらカードをあげるってね。
Well, then I won't be able to give you the card, will I? I mean, I believe I've said this from the very start. If you don't partake in the attraction fully, then I won't be able to give you the card.
これがお前のルールなのか。
Oh, and is this one of your rules?
そうだよ。ただこれは君のためにやってることなんだけどな。
Yeah. Although, I mean, I'm really only doing this for your benefit.
もういい。
Enough. It was fine. For the very last one, I could just borrow it from Naughty.
本当にいいの？
Huh? Are you really okay?
ああ、構わない。
Yeah, I don't care. I'm already sick of this. Sick of the election, sick of Alice, sick of all of it.
俺が呼び出すまで二度と顔を出すな。
Don't show your face unless I call for you.
ひどいな、かなめくんは。と言っても、いつも通りだけどね。
Oh, man. You're a harsh one, Kaname-kun. Is what I'd like to say, but this is what you're like all the time. Even after Alice disappeared, I wasted some more time standing there. I decided to wait out the amount of time that I estimated it would take to solve the maze.
ほら、危ないから奥に入っちゃダメだって。
Hey, come on, it's dangerous, so don't go in there. I thought that I would probably help Ichika with preparing lunch, but in the end, I just ended up being Naughty and myself. It just ended up being the two of us chasing Naughty out of the kitchen. I wondered if she was just very interested to see Ichika with a kitchen knife in her hand. But having Naughty peeking in was just a little too dangerous.
ちゃんと座って待ってよね。
Come on, sit down and just wait, okay? Even though she was sitting at the table like I had asked, even now, Naughty's interest and gaze seemed fixed upon the kitchen. I felt as though already 30 minutes had passed like this. Just at the moment that I was thinking that it was taking quite a long time, and I started zoning out while staring at Naughty, a delicious smell started wafting from the kitchen. And at the same time, Ichika appeared, carrying a tray.
かなめ、運ぶの手伝って。
Kaname, come help me carry this all out.
すぐ行く。
Alright, I'm coming. I took the trays from her with platters for all of us and carried them to the table. The table that the three of us were sitting around. It felt nostalgic, staring at the cooking in front of me.
それじゃあ、いただきましょう。
Alright, let's chow down.
いただきます。
Yeah, let's eat. Eat. Naughty whispered, or mumbled, mimicking us.
おいしい。
Oh man, this is good.
ちょっと急いだから不安だったけど、大丈夫みたいだね。
Yeah, I rushed it a little bit, so I was kind of worried, but it seems like it came out okay.
そんなに急いだの？時間はあったはずだけど。
What? Did you have to rush that much? I mean, we should have had time.
やっぱりカレーは時間をかけて煮込まないとね。ほら、一晩寝かせると美味しくなるって言うでしょ。
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about it, if you want your curry to taste really good, you gotta let it sit for a while. I mean, the best thing to do is let it sit overnight, and then it becomes even more delicious.
一晩は無理だけどね。
Yeah, I mean, we can't wait for a whole night.
だからできるだけね。
So, I did what I could. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, yeah. Like, when I make curry for myself, I usually make a ton, right? Because, you know, like Japanese style curry, right? So it's like I melt all the roux and I put it in and I mix in all the vegetables and the meat and stuff. And like, I'll usually eat it right after I make it, so it's good, but then I like continue to, but then I continue to use it like throughout the week generally because I make a lot of it in my slow cooker, and like yeah, it usually is better the second day. So now, yeah, I mean each kind of has a point.
すごく美味しいよ。
Yeah, well, it's super good. Ichika tilted her head at me, confused, spoon in hand.
でも変な組み合わせ。どうしてカレーとお味噌汁なの？
But this is kind of a weird combo. Why did you want curry and miso soup?
それは
Oh, well, about that. Because that's exactly what we ate the first time the three of us sat around a table together. Back at that point, it was myself and Ichika and Misa. And Misa had made miso soup, based on what she had learned at school. And then Ichika had made curry, which was what she had learned to make at school. But Ichika didn't remember that. She should have, but... She should have, though. Even though the curry didn't, the miso soup still tasted exactly the same as it did back then. It's miso soup, what the fuck else is it gonna taste like?
思いついたのがその2つだっただけ。
I just... Look, miso soup is either good or it's that watery shit that you get in, like, really cheap restaurants. Like, there isn't... Like, I mean, I guess, yeah, okay, there are gradations, but for me, generally, I don't have the distinguished palate to tell the difference between, like, different kinds of miso soup. So for me, it either tastes good, like it's really, like, thick and koi and, like, good and has a lot of flavor, or it's the watery shit that you get from, like, you know, the tonkatsu place or whatever. The cheap tonkatsu place, not the nice one. I just came up with it. I just thought of those two things, that's all.
そういえばここに来てからどっちも食べてなかったね。
Well, I mean, now that you mention it, I guess since we got in here, there's no way that we haven't eaten either of those yet. There is no way that your fucking Japanese asses, have been eating 3 meals a day in this fucking hotel with the ability to order whatever you wanted and not had miso soup. I call bullshit on that game. Even though it was the first time Nori had ever eaten either of these dishes, she seemed to be gobbling them down as if she enjoyed them. Maybe it's because she was having them for the first time. How many times had we had to eat with her before we figured that out? How many times had we seen Nori not enjoy something that she'd eaten before? It seemed like it was fine if you seasoned things differently or made them look different. For example, she was able to eat sandwiches as long as you changed what was inside them, or changed the way that the bread was cut. It seemed as though that didn't seem to bother her.
この味噌汁、なんだか懐かしい味がする。
Something about this miso soup feels really nostalgic. Yeah.
そういえばどこで習ったんだろう。分量と具も自然に手に取って疑問にも思わなかったけど。
Actually, now that I think about it, where did I learn to make this? I mean, I just kind of gathered up everything in the amounts that I needed without thinking about it.
忘れてしまった記憶の中にあったのかもね。
Well, it might be in one of those memories that you've lost.
そっか。そういうこともあるんだね。
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess there should be something like that too, huh? Yeah. I decided to change the subject to get away from the sort of heavy air that was beginning to permeate the conversation.
それで明日のことなんだけど。
So, I want to talk about tomorrow. Okay.
明日は朝ごはんを食べたら資料室にこもるよ。まだ全部のデータを見たわけじゃないし、確認するのにどれくらい時間がかかるかもわからないから。
So tomorrow, after I eat breakfast, I'm gonna shut myself up in the research room all day. The research room, the document room, all day. I haven't had a chance to look at all of the data yet, and there's a bunch of things I want to check. So I have no idea how long it's going to take.
クイズにはいつ答えるの？
And when exactly you're gonna take the quiz?
その後になるかな。
Probably after that.
その場には私も呼んでね。
Alright, well if that's the case, then please let me know.
いや、一人で答えようかと思ってたんだけど。
No, I kinda wanted to take it by myself, but...
それはダメ。そんな大事な時に一人で何も知らずに待ってるなんて絶対に嫌だから。
Yeah, no, sorry. That's gonna be a me from no dog. No for me, dog. At a really important time like that, I'm not just gonna sit around by myself not knowing what's going on.
わかった。じゃあ、その時になったら呼ぶよ。
Got it. Alright. Well, I'll come call you when I'm about to take the quiz.
絶対に一人で答えようとしないでね。
Please, please don't take it by yourself.
約束するよ。
I promise.
約束だよ。
Yeah, it's a promise. I had absolutely no intention of keeping that promise. If I failed the quiz, I was gonna die. And I had no intention... of... Wait, hold on. Okay. And I had no intention of having Ichika find out the things that she had forgotten. I wondered if they would erase all memories of me, just like they did with the... I wondered if Alice would erase all memory of me, just like she did with the other 9. If they did, that'd be great, but if she didn't? I wondered if Ichika would forgive me. But even if she wouldn't, there was nothing else I could choose. There was no way I could consider a world that didn't have Ichika or Nori in it.
ごちそうさま。
Thanks for the food.
様？
Food?
はい、おさまつ様でした。
Alright, well, alright everybody, thanks for eating it. I wonder how many times we'd be able to continue this domestic bliss. Good night. Good morning. And once more, let's eat and thanks for the food. And after that, even if I were able to pass the quiz, what would even come after that? Would we just live out the rest of our lives here? Or would Alice send those of us that were chosen to some other place? And then, what about after that?
じゃあ、洗い物は任せて。
Alright, leave the dishes to me.
それくらいは俺がやるよ。
Hey, come on, that's the least I can do.
そう？
Oh yeah?
その間にノリをお風呂に入れてあげて。
And while I'm doing that, why don't you take Nori up to take a bath?
要も部屋に来るんでしょ？
You're gonna come to the room too, right?
もちろん行くよ。最後の夜だし、夜更かしくらいしても誰にも怒られないよ。
Of course. I mean, this is the last night, so... this is the last night, so, I mean, I don't think anyone will care if we go ahead and stay up all night.
最後じゃないよね。
It's, not the last, right?
ああ、そういう意味じゃないよ。選挙が終わってからのことはわからないから、今日までのこういう日の最後ってこと。
That's not what I meant. I just meant that since all the elections are over and we don't know what's gonna come next, this is the last day of, you know, all this.
そっか。それじゃあアリスにトランプでも用意してもらおうか。
Oh, okay. Alright, well, if that's the case, then I'll ask Alice to give us some cards or something.
トランプか。じゃあ、お願いしておいてもらえる？
Cards, huh? Hey, do you mind if I ask you something?
いいよ。要が来るまでにはシャワーも済ませて用意しておくね。
Yeah, of course. I mean, until you get there, we'll make sure that we get all showered and cleaned up for the night.
でもノーリはルール覚えられるかな？
But, can Nori remember all the rules?
神経衰弱くらいならわかるんじゃないかな。
Oh, she could probably pay, like, memory or something.
ババ抜きは？
What about Old Maid?
難しいかな。でも何でもやってみなくちゃね。
Might be a little bit tough for her. But, I mean, I guess we could try it out and see. Oh, God. I just had, like, a fucking, like... Oof. Like, you know, hey, do you think the kids could handle this thing? That's too difficult for them. It just gave me a fucking flashback to being a teacher. That conversation... Okay, well, having that conversation, we all prepared to head back to the room. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here for this week, and we will pick back up next week. I guess. Sorry we didn't get any story time in. There was apparently a lot of like story stuff to do. But it looks like next time is my last chance to check all of the stuff. So thank you, person who commented a couple videos ago, to tell me on who we've already finished all of before and who we haven't, because I need to go through and finish the people that we haven't finished before. As of right now, it looks like... the thing is, like, if the answer is, like, how many people have killed somebody out of all of us, I wonder how that's measured. Like... How complicit do you need to be in this murder before it counts? You know what I mean? Because, like, in the example of, like, Group A, for example, Miori pushes the lady down the stairs, which, like, grievously injures her. And then, Yuri does whatever he does. I forget if he, like, knocks her in the head or whatever. And, or strangles her or something. And that brings her closer to death. But then the killing blow is done by Michimune when they're burying her, because he realizes that, like, she's still alive, and then he conks her in the head with the shovel. So, like, does that mean that only Michimune counts as the killer? And it's a similar thing with, like, Ichika, too, where, like, you know, Kaname, I think, ends up killing the dad, and, like, Ichika and, Misa, like, help cover it up? You know what I mean? Like, so is he the only one that's complicit? Izuki obviously has killed people, before, like, and it's just him, and also, what's his face? Issei has also killed people too, so, like, we know that. So I feel like all of Group C is complicit, has, by their own hand, killed somebody. Whereas, Group B, the twins have both killed, what's-his-face's parents, and what's-his-face killed their grandmother, so, like, I feel like all three of them are there too, so it's weird to me. I feel like it would be all of them. I feel like the correct answer is just 12, because, like, everybody's fucking complicit. And I don't know if the 12th person is supposed to be Misa or, Nori, and I mean, like, Nori could still be Misa, I guess, because they're roughly around the same age. I still would like to know what the deal is with Nori, and, like, what's the deal with her? You know what I mean? Because, like, she's there, and she's, doing her stuff, and, yeah, I don't know, man, like, it's just weird. It's just weird. Like, is she Misa? And, like, it's like, this is Misa as Kaname sees her, and so he's kind of, like, regressed her down. Like, she's not, like, a 13-year-old. She's, like, you know, like, this, like, infant baby, and that's part of because of, like, that's how he sees her, and, like, he doesn't admit that she's, like a real person who has, like, thoughts and feelings and stuff herself. And I still think that that's kind of an interesting thing, and I hope that it's in the game intentionally. Because, I mean, it's in there. You can find it, you know, if you want to close read it, but, like, is it in there intentionally? Like, does the game know that it's done this thing? You know, and so I'm gonna have to start thinking about, like, where the game's going now. Because right now, clearly, like, there's the quiz, and if I answer the quiz wrong, then I get a game over. But it's also entirely possible that some sort of fucking shenanigans happen that result in, you know, me having to do another election against Ichika. I don't think they'd put me against Nori, although who knows, maybe Nori just has, like, Misa's, like, memories re-uploaded into her, and then, you know, Kaname has to be with that. Or another way that it could go, which would be kind of interesting, is if the final election is not even between you and someone else. Like, I know it says on here that, like, he's already taken the nominee position, but, like, I'm just spitballing here, but, like, it would be really interesting if, like, in the end, like, it turns out that it is Ichika versus Nori for the final election, and then, like, you as the player have to choose who you're gonna vote for on either side, because they eliminate everyone else, maybe. And, you know, now it's not just that, like, Kaname is like, oh crap, like, I'm gonna survive and only one of the other ones will. It's like he actively has to decide who's going to survive over the other ones, although it seems like he had already made the decision, since he's like, oh, I'll just throw Ichika in as the opposing candidate, because, like, he doesn't even consider Nori. Like, which makes sense, you know, but, yeah, so anyway, I guess we'll do some more story time next time. Next time will be, I guess, maybe, like, a longer episode, kinda? Either a longer episode, or I'll do it over a couple of weeks, because we have a bunch of, people that we need to read their whole stories for, so I guess I'll go back through and read, the entire story for all the people who we haven't finished all the way yet. And I'll have to take a look at some of the ones that we didn't finish all the way. And once we do that, then I'll be able to find out, I'll be able to take the quiz, hopefully I'm able to just finish the quiz and get, like, the correct answer and just end the game. But if not, who knows, we'll have to see. But yeah, alright, thanks for joining me on this Wednesday night, and I will see you guys later, and take it easy, bye! Bye-bye!